So today, let's begin to more explicitly include some of the insight themes in with our meditation. One prefers to continue going deeper with tranquility, peace, stabilizing attention and non-distraction. Continue with breath meditation. That's fine. Or to continue relaxation meditation, body sweeping, body scanning, that's fine. To continue loving kindness, compassion, heart opening, heart connecting meditations. That's fine. That's excellent. Or if you'd like to simply continue with open awareness or all around mindfulness, what we're experiencing, and a general contemplation, that's fine as well. Maybe starting today, we'll begin to more explicitly include several of the insight themes with our meditations, with our talks. In our sit, and we're developing good habits here. Beginning our sits methodically here on the retreat, setting the intention for the sit, setting the intention for the day. Doing a sweep through to establish relaxation. Doing a sweep through to establish our wakefulness, our mindfulness. Or just seeing that we have become quite present and aware. These three basic steps can help us to develop good habits in meditation. We do not want to become sloppy meditators. Years may go by without fruitful practice. So just some deliberate, methodical, initial steps to bring to the sitting meditation is excellent. And likewise, to begin a walking meditation or anything we might be specifically including in our formal or informal meditation. So 3 basic steps, and we're welcome to be creative, design our own. The 3 basic steps common to many meditation approaches just have this simple setting our intention. It could be a very basic reminder, or it could be a very specific instruction that we'd like to be following through with during the session. And perhaps to set our intentionality for the day in order to more and more be carrying our meditation from session to session, throughout activities, carrying that unification of intent throughout all our activities, setting the intention for the sit, setting the intention for the day. Could already be a very unified intention that we have to want to be serving, serving the Dharma, serving humanity, to help bring about happiness and liberation of beings and the causes of liberation, to help bring about the alleviation of suffering and the causes of suffering. This could very well be the singular unification of intent that we reaffirm to have us be fully engaging with our practice session or every activity in our life. To be including it in our aspiration, in our practice. Let's just reaffirm that. Set our intention for the sit, set our intention for the day. We see whatever that unified intent or aspiration is. We want to see it's here. It stays present, it stays at the forefront, informing and guiding our practice. And this has the element of the view, or our right view to practice. This next step, relaxation. We've been saying relaxation, body, breath, and mind. So this releasing of tensions, the body, settling the breath naturally, or with a few deep inhalations or exhalations, or deep belly breathing, to see that the body and the breath are relaxed. Finding a comfortable posture. It's going to be a support for relaxation and stillness. You see, bringing the relaxation to the mind. It's a very similar kind of release. Just like releasing tensions in the body, bringing our awareness to a particular tension, breathing into it, relaxing it, releasing it, feeling it settle in. Very similar with the mind. This setting aside thoughts and concerns about the past, memories, just for now. Setting aside thoughts and concerns about the future, just for now. Any thoughts or concerns about the present. Settling right in. Relaxing the mind. Letting the energy that flows into thinking subside. Gradually subside. Perhaps we are learning how to, as it were, unhook from the mind. Quite deliberately. As this simple shift of giving attention to the thinking, to bringing attention more into the knowing of our experience, even the knowing of the thoughts. Like the Buddha said, Pajanati, Hollywood, simply knowing, or being aware, whatever's arising. The shift from the thinking in the knowing. Relaxation. Releasing, letting go, non-grasping. We see how deep and relevant this relaxation goes. It's like a flow state of non-grasping. So this second step, universal steps, set up meditation, establish and practice, setting the intention, relaxation, and wakefulness. As the Buddha said, one establishes mindfulness before one. Simply becoming, present and aware. And with sort of meta-awareness of the quality of that mindfulness itself, or that knowing itself, just to see that it's kept present, kept fresh. One can use a little reminder to keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. That means aware of what is happening right now. Without being too controlling or micromanaging, just an overall sort of observation, just vigilance. Keep watch that the mindfulness, the presence awareness stays fresh. Keep it fresh. What's happening right now? That applies to the breath sensations, to the body sensations, to the loving kindness sensations, to the fact of being present and aware of here right now. Keep it fresh. Wakefulness. Alert, awake, and aware. Keeping it fresh. If we are finding our mindfulness begin to stabilize, begin to feel more effortless and continuous, we can experiment or explore this beginning to ease up just a bit on the intention or the effort to stay mindful itself. We call that easing up on the intention, easing up on the attention. And just shifting ever so gradually more into the knowing, the awareness. We can see already has an effortless kind of continuity inherent in it. We can see continuity of mindfulness as its own kind of samadhi. Likewise, the ever-present nature of awareness has its own unique kind of samadhi. As if it's always already present and aware. And we don't have to do it like it might feel the need to do with attention and mindfulness. This recognition, the fact of knowing, being present and aware. Where? Right here. When? Always. Right now. So we may use a little reminder or mantra to keep it fresh. Like now is the knowing. This appreciation that knowing is only ever happening right now. Or always, already, present and aware. For any experience to be happening, we must be present and aware with it. So several of the prominent insight themes from the Buddha, which we've been discussing, are directly related to these three, as it were, establishments. Meditation, this establishing of intention, establishing of relaxation, and establishing of wakefulness. With insight, we establish the intention to inquire, to investigate, contemplate, to be learning, to be observing, what we are experiencing, with the intention to understand or to discern a particular pattern of behavior, a pattern of events, okay? A very general way of saying insight. So we bring that interest and intent to learn and understand to the insight practice. That can very much include this intent for liberation, to liberate our own hearts from its not knowing, unknowing, misunderstanding, confusion, delusion, ignorance, liberating it, to awaken, to realize, knowing and seeing the nature of the way things are, yatha bhutam jnanadasana, and eventual bodhi, complete awakening. And the intention to serve the Dharma, to help others, all beings do likewise. So this is included in the setting the intention. Relaxation is very directly related to another prominent insight theme emphasized by the Buddha, even called a door to liberation, the doors to the deathless, the gateway to Nibbana. Relaxation, the desireless, the non-grasping liberation. So perhaps we'll keep it simple now, but this relaxation or non-grasping or letting go, we see in itself can be revealing in very minor ways or very major ways, deeper dimensions of peace and contentment here, either already here in some sense, or that get revealed when the preoccupation, the energy with those desires, or that becoming begin to subside. How that can go very, very deep to see in more subtle ways how we are craving, grasping, clinging various identities that we have. Self-image, self-structure, Buddha indeed is saying the release of that craving, those cravings, those clingings, those identity structures does reveal your peace, your freedom, your alleviation of suffering. The desireless as the door to liberation. So relaxation, letting go, letting desires, sense objects, mental objects, past, future, the sense of self, identity, all the me and mine, more and more, learning how to release those graspings, clingings, attachments, identity views, and see the different kinds of becomings come more and more to stillness in the here and now. Some have called those mini nibbanas, where we actually see the Four Noble Truths in action. We actually see craving and clinging in cessation, in the peace and freedom. That comes from it. That can directly bring us to the second doorway to liberation, gateway to liberation of impermanence. We notice as those desires subside, we become more collected in the present. That energy of desire to take us away, to there and then, be focusing on what we don't have, what we don't want. And bring us right into the present moment. But right here, right now. The optimal vantage point to be witness to change. The impermanence. The sensations. Coming into being, going out of being. Arising and passing. Coming and going from the vantage point of the now. It's so obvious and indisputable, isn't it? We can see everything's changing, all sensations, everything we're seeing, everything we're hearing, all the tactile sensations, thoughts, feelings, everything's changing. Everything's been changing the whole time. This becomes ever more apparent, more obvious from the vantage point of the now. And the knowing. This gateway insight to the Dharma, so supremely praised by the Buddha, as the power. Likewise, be releasing our grip on grasping, being more in harmony with the nature of the way things are. Indeed, it can begin to seem as if things are inherently ungraspable, given their changeable nature. Like trying to grab a fistful of river or a fistful of space. Or building a house on quicksand, as they say. So many ways the anicca, impermanence characteristic, change, can show up to give us deeper insight, realization to the nature of the way things are. Or arising with that, the effect of that, the fruit of that, is to release the grasping, release the clinging, and release the expectation things to be other than they are. change, to be impermanent, to arise and pass according to causes and conditions, is simply their nature. So this at-easeness, appeasement that comes through being in harmony with nature. They even go so far, say, our suffering arises when we're not in harmony with nature, the nature of the way things are. That could be a big pointer. And lead directly to the next gateway of liberation, the doors to the deathless. Anatta, sunyata, the characteristic of non-self and emptiness. This shift into the now, into the knowing, is giving us a clearer mindfulness and awareness of what our sense of self is. It's difficult to see when we're identified with it. We're overly engaged in following its agenda. So likely our insight into impermanence is already beginning to show. Some of these structures of identity also of a nature to arise and pass away according to their causes and conditions, and actually being a construct of dependent origination, co-arising, co-creation, of memories, of desires, of imagination, ambitions, self-story, self-image, all the me and mine. Fundamentally arising from these 5 aggregates of selfhood. embody the feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. Perhaps we're well aware of this five-fold structure of self-identity. Are shifting more into being mindful of events occurring in our mind, in our emotions. It's already a step towards de-nourishing that solid sense of self and seeing it as a co-creation, a fabrication of things like memories, feelings, desires, maybe even going so far to see that from the point of view of the knowing, of the awareness, the person actually arises as an experience in our knowing, in our consciousness of it, and therefore is some way an object of the knowing. An object of sensations, inherently changing. We can begin to see our sense of self like this. As a co-creation of sensations, glued together by clinging, by grasping, as well by a more mental sense of self-identity. So these three prominent insight themes, the desireless, the impermanent, the non-self, we may experience them in a more unified sense as of a single insight into the nature of the way things are, or one particular insight more than another may be of interest, or we already have an inspiration and connection to it. We can be combining that with our mindfulness practice, or even our samadhi practice, to have that insight be the theme of contemplation, for mindfulness, or even the theme or object of our samadhi meditation. Keeping in mind with any insight what the liberation element is, to be releasing grasping, releasing clinging, through understanding the nature of the way things are. So let's continue practicing in silence. We have a half hour for walking. We'll reconvene at 10 for a talk. Please keep your mindfulness and insight practice as we're able.
I have a small announcement for if you have half an hour walking meditation. Try not to come in and out of this building too much in that time, because there's also people doing walking meditation in the kitchen or something. It's a bit distracting.